This is freaking disgusting. I had to cast this. I cannot believe this. Right now, I could not be rooting for a team harder if I tried. Boys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to the AoE4 action. We are hopping in for some team matches here, and we've got a stacked lineup. Team 1 is Corvinus, playing as the Juji in the teal. We have got next door neighbor for him, MRX, a.k.a. the Mista, my understanding is very own, in fact, playing in the red as the Malians. And then finally, in the yellow, we've got the Golden Horde, which might be Striker. I'm not sure if this is a Striker's account or not, but they are in a party together. I know Striker and Baltine have been playing with Mista throughout the day. But these guys are not the disgusting folks, actually. I'm rooting for this team because we are playing on Hideout, and look at the atrocity. Juji, Rus. It does not get more vile and exploitative of maps than this. Juji, Rus are the two best users of Hideout for these tree lines. Now, admittedly, Corvinus is being a filthy little boy up here as well. He is playing Juji, but that's 1 out of 3. These guys are 3 out of 3 playing as the most broken civs for Hideout. Why are they broken, folks? Look at this instant hunting cabin. At the beginning of the game, it's already generating 32 gold off of no extra bounty levels. 33 gold here. What's the broken part about Juji, you might be wondering? Wait until you see the meditation garden in a few minutes' time. And yes, something that does also make this quite refreshing to watch, as we're going to hit 2 times speed for the early game. There's a Self Forest in the center. Now, I don't know if this is regular for Hideout. I'm pretty sure it doesn't do it in 2v2s. Maybe Bidlin can give some clarity because he's in chat right now. You guys could have been in chat talking to Bidlin, Pog, celebrity map maker. I think 3v3s and 4v4s probably do this consistently because I know that it had huge latency issues, or not latency, performance issues, right? There were too many trees, so Hideout was actually unplayable in 3v3s and 4v4s. So that's a smart read. Also gives a lot more character to 3v3 and 4v4 maps, actually, because now it kind of has this pseudo oasis effect to it where you chop into the center tree line and you have a party in the center. So that could be really fun. I'd actually love to see 2 golds spawn in the center of this map as well, just really to be the piece de resistance. But, ooh. I'm sorry, what? So I was expecting this, but somehow this is just as busted. 30 stone, 30 gold, 48 food, and I believe that's still going to be about probably 10, 15 wood. Let's have a look. Okay, not much wood. Okay, folks, balance has been restored to the universe. We are now rooting for Team 2. Corvinus has a broken placement for his meditation garden. This is still really good by purple, but I actually think it would have been more value for them to have not built the houses here and dropped the meditation garden between the food and the wood, like Corvinus just done. Because would you guys like to guess what Corvinus's number is? Just spitball a number there. With the food and the wood in that area, I'll give you guys a minute to figure it out. The number is going to be disgusting. I can already tell you that. Well, I thought I clicked on it for a second. Let's check on the other players while you guys get your numbers in. We've got Kremlin drop coming in from both the Rus players, as is anticipated. People just don't do golden gear right now. Meanwhile, Mista actually went for a Saharan trade network out here. Might be thinking about trade long term, but he needs to protect his gold investment out here as well against Knights. So that gives him 10 garrison points out very far away from his base while he rushes the gold down. And he's got this safe deposit back home for later. So pretty cool read there. And then finally, we haven't checked in with Golden Horde yet. I love the name while they're playing Mongols. The fact they're playing Mongols, and I have a feeling they're always Mongols, made me want to lean towards this being Urk, but I'm not sure. They have gone for the Silver Tree. We'll see if they eventually choose to use it. For the time being, it's going to be Stable's opening for some aggression. Let's check in on that nice little meditation garden, shall we? 115 wood. 115 plus 48. Just take a moment, process that. Let those numbers melt into your brain and then scream internally. That is 163 resources a minute. And that, boys and gals, and my non-binary pals, is exactly why Juji is broken on Hideout. More so than Rus, because yes, high trade house numbers are high, but that comes later, right? This is literally at the start of the game you can do this. Totally insane. Just like this defense coming out from purple. What on earth is going on down here? Hey, man, you got to keep the Mongols out, right? Meanwhile, this meditation garden, 30, 30, 12, a little bit better than I was expecting. Actually, this is 120, by the way. This is the insanity, by the way, of this landmark. 120 resources right there. And, you know, we've watched enough 1v1s on different maps to see just as absurd numbers coming out there. I think the thing that kind of just makes Juji busted in team games on Hideout, one, defensive civ that wants to greed up, can on a map like this. Two, you're talking about a map that the way it spawns actually still benefits Meditation Garden. While we've regularly seen like Dry Arabia, these other maps that can get you ridiculous Meditation Garden spawns, don't happen as frequently in team games because the resources, as we can see with this map here, are split up a lot more evenly. So you don't get this weird kind of double overlap as often. But this game, looking a bit nutty already. Walls are going to go up from Corvinus because we know what Mist is going to do, don't we? Malian trade is on the way. 125 gold per trader. Don't mind if I do. Let's get these walls up quickly, though. Pink is breaking through, and it feels like Yellow isn't really able to hold on to his own base, clearly. Spearmen are going to move in and push those Keshiks away. So Chugi knew spears. They could keep this open. The Knights are even going to find the villagers. So right now, Mista, it's kind of obvious at this stage that he's trading, right? When you see these walls go up from teal, now from red, alarm bells have to be ringing for the left side team. They know they can't play too greedy. In fact, what I love right now coming out from purple, they have gone Song Dynasty, yes, but they're not just booming TCs. In fact, they aren't even on the stone at all. They might eventually passively get a TC, but they're not actively pursuing it. This is a very smart read. On the other side, we're seeing similar out of Corvinus. Understandably here, he's having to force a commitment into troops. The downside of what Corvinus is doing, he did not get the Jiangnan Tower, so he didn't get those free units as a tax rebate. And also, he doesn't have that efficient play long-term into his granaries as this goes on. So it's even more critical they get these walls up because this Juji player is going to have to play out onto the map. In fact, he's playing everywhere on the map right now. The amount of teal dots I'm watching running around is getting a bit absurd here. He needs to actually rally his troops together. I am a bit worried about what Green's up to, because Green, is this going to be fast castle? They're not holding on to any resources right now. They've got a small army together. They went multi-TC. In fact, both Rus players did. This could very easily be like a fast castle sneak and then a breakthrough here. And that means that Corvinus right now has to guard two flanks. Like, just want to remind people that right now, Yellow isn't in their walls, right? This is not a 2v2v2. They just left the Mongols out. Oh, this game is so hard for Golden Horde, man. He has no room, no food. He's going to have to build patches in the corner without any Uvu effect. This is really inefficient. They just ignore him and run by. He's a non-factor for them right now. This is kind of funny because for the time being, Green is also not participating, but you know Green can get involved a lot more easily than Yellow can right now. Corvinus chasing after these Keshiks, but... or rather, chasing after the Knight. But this cut-off way, these Keshiks could easily die. Golden Horde. Checks it out just in time. Still, they know everything. And this is just still two players, remember. Like, this is 2v3. I think Green is going to go soon. We might even be seeing Siege Engineering. No Siege Engineering. He's going under mesh. But Siege Engineering makes a lot of sense here. Just break this wall and go. And thank you for the confirmation, Galidi. Golden Horde is Paphellas. I didn't get a chance to check the rankings. That makes a lot of sense. Paphellas, by the way, very talented player. We've featured him on this channel a few times before. Love the guy. Wonderful person. Met him in person at Red Bull Wallow. Wonderful, wonderful person. Really good friend of Mista's as well. So not surprised that they are partying up together. Now this, man, this is going to be hard to defend. It's just such a long trade route. More walls coming up from Corvinus. He understands what's on the way. In fact, it's not even a ram play to get through. It's just casual burn down. Corvinus, remember, this is a lot of idle eco for him. He's still only one TC. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we now have purple adding in that second TC we talked about passively. It's a difficult phase for Corvinus because he doesn't have the cheaper TCs because he didn't go Jiangnan. He's just got all this wood to work with and nothing to really spend it on right now. So one of those kind of awkward conundrums is I think with this build, where you build meditation on the wood line, you're more pressured to go Jiangnan because then you can use that wood actively to make a farm transition easy. Right now, the only thing he's really using that wood for is more palisade walls. And I think they are done with letting Paphellas exist here. This is starting to feel like an entrenched siege. 2 players versus 1. Someone needs to come and help right now, but Corvinus backed all the way up to the trade, so he's not here to assist. Knights are going to burn down that Uvu. I think it just got freshly rebuilt. Wooden Fortress also on the way over here. Green is breaching through on the north side, trying to get deeper in. Outpost being built up as a reaction by Corvinus. He needs to get those hand cannon slits in ASAP, though. Nice little snipe here on the board, so extra gold trickling in for Green. I don't know if that just got him another level of bounty, but right now getting 36 gold here, 36 gold here. 36 gold pretty much everywhere. You could even have an initial hunting cabin or free. Chooses not to. Meanwhile, for Pink, it's going to be 36, 36, and 33. Pretty good to have that passive gold when you're both building Knights like this. Speaking of those Knights, Pinks on the south side here. They're ready to start forcing this fight. I deleted the wall coming out as there's practically none left of it. Rams now moving into the archer range. New Wooden Fortress shuffling forward. Chuginu able to trade out well up against these archers. Knights just looking for an opening right now. It would be easy to dive here. It's only Keshiks, no spearmen to defend this area. They hold back for the time being, though. Ram baiting them out of position here. Keshiks. Gotta be careful. It's the type of thing where really easily that turns into a good trade, where if one Keshik goes down, the Ram has almost paid for itself. So you need to be careful not to give those trades over. Every little really matters at this phase. The other worry that I do have is every single player on the north side, bar Mista, has no eco upside here. Right? This is 1 TC with Silver Tree that just does nothing, and then 1 player playing trade. On this side, it's now 3 TC for purple, 2 TC for pink, and 2 TC for green. And they are winning on both sides of this fight, because right now it just feels like too wide of a map for the pros to actually ever regroup. Green now has committed to the ram, so he's going to start shuffling through. Hand cannon and slits have not come through on any of these outposts. They are just dead weight threats that do nothing. And also, on top of that, he hasn't got songs, so he did pay full price for all of these, right? Would have paid 180 resources. Instead, he paid 300. Southside Keshiks get baited. Several going down here. It looks like Mista is trying to pay his way in this team comp by just bribing everyone else to exist. I'm pretty sure that gold was going the way of Paphellas here. Like, Paphellas, his gold is in such a tricky position because the Chuginu can just keep poking at it. Now, though, it looks like they're going to wait because there is a dive coming in. Knights not able to find a way around, though. Wall after wall to keep them out. Meanwhile, north side, Corvinus is not able to help over here anymore on the south side. He has to defend himself. Rams now shuffling in onto the outposts. Went for the fortification first. An interesting choice here. Not going to complete on the northern one, but central one should get up. Knights maybe overextending here, but feels confident about it. Archers trading out well up against the Chuginu. I'm waiting for the Rams, man. I'm kind of surprised we haven't got 2 extra Rams being added in by Purple here, but for good reason. He just made the granary transition. Yikes. Right now, these 2 Juji picks are miles apart. They have very different fates in this game. Corvinus is not the scaler at all, but you can see for Purple, despite the fact they've had a big military presence, they've got scalability now. I actually really did like the meditation garden placement, like getting this stone, getting what we said, 120 resources overall, compared to 148, was it we said? Or 100, and sorry, not 148, it was 163, right? But most of it is wood. And that would have only made sense if it was Jeanne and Tower play. The fact that Corvinus never got that means that he still can't make a transition into granaries. He doesn't have this bolstered eco potential like Purple does. The problem is the way that Green keeps playing this just keeps forcing him to double down and double down. He can never get out of this. Just realize that if Chuginu gets nerfed, Chinese early game will suck. Well, the problem right now is if Chuginu get nerfed, then, like, Juji's early game doesn't exist, right? Because, like, they can't build archers. They have to build Chuginu. So that's one of the problems right now with Chuginu. Tech up's coming out, by the way. Castle Age reached by Purple first. Dude, he's in such a strong position right now. Also, keep in mind he can supervise these upgrades and then rush a fight. Might be me looking to drop like a Siege Workshop a bit closer to the forward, right? That could be a super sick play here. Paphellas just trying to actually be active, but this could kill him. He doesn't know about the walls right now. And he's being cut off. Pink, gangs around here. He's going Gonna go for the charge. A bit unfortunate. Pink didn't position perfectly there. Could have moved more to the right side. Went for line formation. So instead, Paphellas will be able to shift out of that. Mista has teched up the meantime, but it's going to be a Farimba play. So no flock of Cav coming. It's just going to be a slow push of infantry from a very far off location here. It just feels like a death stare at both sides, right? Thinking into Castle Age, we have to start assessing which side has more potential here. I think double mass knights is a bit more scary with Boys Fortitude from the Roost players, right? Like, that is the thing that kind of screams out to me. And then the difference between the two GG players. I think there's a potential for this purple player to push double the archer count of Corvinus. Those are just numbers you don't come back from. Javs also undefended. Just so many of them right here, but so many knights to counter them. Charging commences. Now, these are early knights, which means the Javs can do decent damage, but they need to start attacking now. Tech up's coming through. It looks like Paphellas did tech up with the Kurultai, so able to hold for the time being. Silver Tree also moving out into miraculous places. I don't know where that one wants to go. Just a few players remaining. Pink still has not aged up yet. Neither has green. Right now, it's actually tech ups from all the northern players. The pros with pristine timing, so that does mean they have less military in this fight. However, hesitation is setting in. Purple doesn't want to fight right now. He wants his teammates to catch up. They're doing exactly that. Pink has just aged up, but does not have the Castle Age Knights yet. Does not have Boys Fortitude. Right now, Purple is just kind of carrying these fights. That's problematic because he's Mass Chiganu versus Jav, so Mista should win this out. Meanwhile, north side, it's a complete stalemate now. After the fortifications came through for Corvinus, this area is no longer diveable, so they have to take a slower approach. And why is his high trade house in his... Wait, why is his high trade house in Green's base? What? Whose side are you on anyway? Also, why here? This one's better. Is this because... No, they fixed high trade house, so it's not impacted by hunting cabins anymore, right? But like, I assume before that fixed, ally ones didn't affect enemy ones anyway, right? I think. That is just... I'm sorry, that's just so weird to look at. The only thing I can think of is, like, he wanted to give Green extra bounty because he's not at tier 3. That might have been a communication. That would make a lot of sense, is that you let Green kill the deer. But right now, Pink's the one killing it, so that doesn't make sense either. Whatever. Let's just focus on the fights. Those always make sense. People die on each side. That's all I need. Not many Keshiks here. Scary position right now for yellow. Upgrade comes through. Veteran archers are out, but the Chiganu are pushing in. There's a veteran Chiganu. Only a ranged armor, one upgrade, and looks like the Chiganu are going to shift over towards the Javs instead. Surprising choice here. Instead, the Knights now swarm in. A perfect read. Pink around the back of this formation, even with the Kurultai. No way of holding on. Paphellas in deep water right now, and nobody is available to throw him any sort of lifeline. Red still just bogged down. Purple just keeping him at bay. Nesta B's now riding out, and that means Javelins are going to start to get counted. Knights just making an absolute massacre right now. Paphellas down to 39 eco, and no military at all. The Knights have found their value. Paphellas basically being reset to a starting game economy. Oh man, that was vicious. That was the timing we were waiting for. This was always trending towards this, and always because Mista had to come so far to get his reinforcements in place. Meanwhile, you're fighting up against cavalry, just has that mobility flexibility. Just felt like this was always trending towards this. And Mista, at least on the tail end, he can make this a reasonable trade. But you're still talking about a game where one player doesn't really exist anymore. Now, that one player, admittedly, does have a Kurultai buff to give you. But it is still one player down. Corvinus, in the meantime, is at least pushing in. However, Mangoes are coming out. Nice dodge. Actually, perfect dodge. Only hit 2 units, I think, that were already due to die. Good micro so far. Needs to be careful with these diving attempts. Trying to be a bit cheeky and snipe it down with the Chiganu, but it just doesn't have enough reaching in. Feels like Green is stabilizing this, so Teal about to be pushed back. Corvinus not going to be able to do much else. Silver Tree being shuffled back. Paphellas says there's only one way I'm getting eco in this game, and he might be right. Does sneak a second TC in Mista's base. This is a smart read. This base is just really unoccupiable right now. The only upside it has is it's a Kurultai station for the buff and the heal, which could be the big game breaker here, right? Mista has got a very scary force together. It feels like he needs to find a way towards Imperial, but right now, Eco's completely drained. He is, however, popped. So this could be the stage where he tries to rush it up. My worry factor here is that I think Purple could easily go Imperial first. In fact, he's thinking about it. These Supreme Towers are so annoying right now. It just feels like Mista's being goaded into a fight he can't take right now. Meanwhile, Spearmen have found their way around the back. Oh, no. That's a lot of trade, folks. Oh, my God. That is a lot of trade. 58 traders. If he just parks here with the spears, it's going to be a lot dead. And the village is going to be too late. They're not going to reach it in time. So burn through successful. Purple in on the trade. And that forces a heavy reaction, actually. More troops being pulled here to address this right now. Meanwhile, they chase down the villagers. And I think that is no wheelbarrow, if I'm not mistaken. So not easy to even run away here. Traders also noticed being body blocked out and stabbed down. Imperial Age has been reached, by the way. So Purple did reach up. They went up with the Zhuji's library. So it looks like they're actually going to be going for Cloud of Terror. Yo, I have yet to see Cloud of Terror in a game of AoE4. Now, this is interesting. So it basically adds an area of effect to bombards. As far as I can tell, it's basically meant to be the raw cannon shot, but on every shot. Which, kind of insane, not going to lie, folks. For the French raw cannons, you have to build a landmark to get that effect on one shot every 4 minutes, I think it is. Whereas with the Zhuji, you build one of the 2 landmarks, so you can build both anyway, and then choose 1 of 5 techs, being limited to 2. Yeah, I'd take the Zhuji version every day of the week. I'm excited to see it, though. I've yet to get a chance to see it. Now, Nestabis is still going to be used in the meantime. Purple does have to throw away some of the army. Oh my god, no. Who does this favor? Does this not favor green? Knights, archers, men-at-arms, and a choke point. Maybe. Especially with the siege approach that Teal's playing. I mean, if you just play away from Corvinus' army, you can dive into his eco here. And there's going to be a lot of tree workers to kill here. In fact, do they see each other right now? They should be getting a glimpse. I think you can just about see a villager there for a second. Yeah, so they now know. They see each other. We'll keep an eye on that as it is going to develop. Bombard now should have the AoE damage. The tech upgrade comes through, and oh my... What the... I think that did just do quite a bit of damage in a splash there. This is a breakthrough, though. Paphellas doesn't have what it takes to hold. Went for the siege, but Mista, he had to back away from all the knights. STB is also just holding him at bay. The pass guard upgraded like this, it just feels like they're unkillable. We did call it early, by the way, that if Purple ever reached Imperial Age, it was going to feel it all over. Not just him, now Pink also reaching up into Imperial. This kind of feels done. Tree line hasn't been broke through. Corvinus is trying to breach the base, but against the Mangoes, as he pushes in, it gets a bit risky. He's got the Springs to hold this hostage, but I'm more worried about the south side. What a great read actually coming out. I love this formatting by Pink and Purple on the south side, the way they complemented each other. I think the really big difference was the approach by both GG players. Like nothing, no insult to Corvinus, right? Like, but realistically, if you look at the way that Purple slotted into the game plan, it was a lot cleaner. And part of that comes down to the choice to make Mista the pocket player and have him trade. It means that Corvinus can't be a bit more greedy. The funny part is Purple wasn't the pocket player, but he was able to wool himself in efficiently, and the Meditation Garden was able to get him casually into these extra TCs, which is why this looks so dominant later on. It's a great read, and now, even the one thing that poor Paphellas has left to offer is not going to make it back. I mean, if they just shoot the Chuginu, that Kurultai is gone. And they need that Kurultai to stand a chance, and I mean just a chance in holding this. Thought the Huntress has come out. Kurultai unpacking right now. The Knights, they've just been leaded up. Oh, no. That Kurultai is just being allowed to exist right now because they see better targets. It's going to be a flooding. Wow. What a performance coming out from these guys on the west side. I mean, we didn't even talk about the rankings. I wonder if people had any guesses. Here's a crazy one for you right now. Yukikaze U. Let's check their ranking. Because I've been really impressed by the coordination out of these guys. I think Yukikaze, if I can spell it right, U, for some reason doesn't even show up. Why do you not show up? They actually aren't ranked at all on 1v1s. They are ranked 317 on team ranked. So respective elo, Yuki is 1600, 1700, and 1800. And boy, does it show. They are a force to be reckoned with. The pros have learned their lesson. Back to the rank ladder, where you'll find plenty of Mista, actually. He's been streaming a bunch of these team games, and we will be checking in on more of them as the day goes on. But good showing. Glad to see it's not just the pros spanking everyone on these leaderboards. I think the team ranked is its own experience, as these guys just proved.